But I recommend everybody, like you do, you gotta pursue your dream in life. You can't just sit around and watch the videos and other people and say, oh my God, I wish I can do it. You have one chance when you're young,
Exactly.
And you just got to do it, and you never know what doors are going to open up, and that's always how it's been for me.
And as we just talked about, everybody can do it if they just put their mind to it, especially nowadays. Like we just talked about, you have everything available to you. You have a laptop, a phone, you can do everything. Like we talked about TikTok as well. Everybody has a phone. Everybody can start making TikTok videos. Everybody can make something out of nothing. So I'm the exact same way. I encourage everybody to pursue their dreams. Just get after it. I think what's hard for people is the competition now, because everything is so available. Everybody's doing it as well. And just like podcasts, so many people have a podcast now, which is one of the reasons why I was hesitant to even start. I've always wanted to have a podcast for probably as long as I can remember, like long as I'm not that old, since I was 10 years old maybe. But I always wanted to have a medium like a podcast, but I was afraid that, might not make it because there was so much competition, because everyone was doing it. But yeah, everybody just gotta try, do their thing, find out what you love and pursue it.
Yeah, you find your own lane, exactly. I mean, especially just to take it back to reggae music and Jamaica and Bob Marley. I think a lot of the appeal of the music and Bob Marley is people know this is a man that came from nothing.
Yeah.
He came from a ghetto and he couldn't even afford a guitar growing up. And this is someone who became one of the most popular singers in the world. His estate is behind Elvis and Michael Jackson. It earns more money than any other singer, in history. So I think the lesson of reggae music is, and when you talk about competition, you don't need much to succeed. You just need the will.
Yeah.
And that's what Bob Marley and that's what reggae really talks about. And I think that's why it's so popular, because not only are they out there, singing about it, but these are, Jamaicans in this generation, they lived it. They came from the least.
Yeah.
And they were able to travel the world and have an influence on the world, and I think that if you worry about the competition, you're not going to be worrying about yourself.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah. That is very true.
When I had met a couple of artists in Jamaica, and they were from the poorest area you could imagine, and they were just starting out in the industry. They took me up to a piece of land up in the mountains, a beautiful piece of land. They said, Henry, look, we got this piece of land from the crumbs of the music business. Imagine if we get a slice of the pie. And I said, you guys, you can't. How did you even get this? I can't even imagine. This is more than I have, and I've been in this. They said, well, when we were young, we went to a wedding, a family wedding. We went to a family wedding, and we met a gentleman there who just looked like success. He had a suit and tie, and we never saw anybody like that before in our lives. And we looked at him. We said, Mister, how do we get to be like you? To be successful? He said, guys, don't pay attention to anybody. Blaze a path and leave a trail for them, and just go forward.
Yeah. And
they said that's what we did. We didn't pay attention. Everybody was doing what they were doing. We just stayed straight and did what we did.
Yeah. Yeah, you never see. I mean, I'm not sure if that's true, but I feel like typically the people who hate on others are always the losers, are always the ones that don't succeed. The ones that just stay in their own lanes are typically the ones that succeed, right? And those are the stories from people coming from nothing are always the best stories.
Yeah, they are.
People coming from nothing to just succeeding and winning in life is so inspiring. Like, I listen to a lot of Eminem, going back to hip hop and rap. You definitely say he came from nothing, living in a trailer, becoming one of the greatest artists of all time. Those stories are just so inspiring. It's amazing to look at somebody coming from nothing, and people who say they can't do something, who live like an average life, a middle class, you have to look at the people who came from nothing. Because if they can do it, so can you, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Sometimes maybe they... even we talk about tennis and to go back to Everett Academy and some of the things going, you find some of these kids who grow up in the country clubs and they have the good lives. They don't have the fire in the belly. Look at the Williams sisters. People who come from their only way out is tennis, or your only way out is music. Sometimes that does give you a fire, and that's your competition. That's why there's people out there that have fire in your belly. If you're going to do something, you can't do it half-assed. Excuse the language.
No,
you got to go all in on something. So I mean, you can't worry about the competition, but you got to think about the fact that they're out there trying to take you,
Yeah.
what you're doing. So you got to just be focused